What's up, everyone? Welcome to Fools Get Clean 2 podcast. So this platform was created for people to get hope that are hopeless and people to see a way out of addiction or getting incarcerated or street life. Today's guest is Jimmy Penaloza, aka Speedy. I've known this guy for a few years. We grew up together. We're doing a hall together. Used to get high together, and now he has an awesome comeback story. So, Jimmy, how was it growing up for you?
Man, I love my childhood. You know what I mean? What's up, everybody? Just yeah, man, I love my childhood. Growing up, where we grew up, you don't know no better. Poor, that's the way I see it. Rich, whatever, you got everything. If you got love, if you got pain, if you got um everything under the sun, you know what I mean? All your emotions. Um, I was confused as a child though. A lot of questions, like any other kid without that guidance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have a dad in my life, so that was kind of like a big something I was always yearning for. And right now, not to step too far ahead, but I got a stepson that I see was craving that, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool to but that was me. That was me, not knowing that I was craving that. You know what I mean? You were
Yeah.
just kind of confused as a kid. Not having a father figure in your life. So my mom was mom and dad. My family was that pad that everybody came from Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all came from Mexico right there. I had tios, cousins, um, strangers that just were part of the fam. We had this dude, a mechanic in the back, right? We had a little, like the boiler room.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid, it's a fond memory of mine, right? I remember as a kid, I would come out and to get to the backyard. I can go through the front, but I didn't like to. I wanted to go through the back, right?
Yeah.
Where the Vato Jesse was at. So I'd open the doors and he'd be laid out right there from cruda from the night before with Colt 45s. I don't know if you remember the Colt 45s. Yeah, he had the Colt 45s all over in the bottom right there. And I go to the back, just one of those kids that like being outside all the time.
Yeah.
That was my getaway outside.
So what city did you grow up in?
Santana, yeah.
Santana. So how was it for your elementary school and your junior high? How was it growing up in school?
In school, it was cool, at we didn't have to walk that far. It was about a quarter mile away. So in the beginning, my sister would walk me to school. That was my bodyguard.
Yeah.
That was my bodyguard. She always took care of me. She's the one who gave me confidence, right? As a kid. I was blessed to have her because it wasn't my brothers, it was her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I got 2 brothers and 1 sister from my mom.
Are you guys close?
No, not today. Not today. We, when we're kids, we were, because, you're kids, right?
Yeah.
But as we got older, the separation started. My mom was never one to hold everybody together. She wasn't that mom that glue, like, nah, I need you guys here for the holidays. And my family wasn't one of those families.
Yeah.
My mom's, she's from the ranch, bro. So over there in Mexico, she's very, la gente from El Rancho, they're kind of, they're more, a little more, how would you say, a little more quiet, a little more, reserved. They have a estilo all to themselves, which I love, bro. I got a piece of that. I got to experience that in my life.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That's, they teach you respect. You know what I mean? Mando. How to even pronounce certain words when, cuando se usa el respeto, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, usted instead of saying tú, and
Yeah.
little things like that I picked up that I'm grateful I have, was behind her. So yeah, but she didn't have that glue, like I was saying, and so we kind of drifted apart. We still see each other, but there's a lot of tension there between us because we all grew up messed up in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So did you ever get in trouble as a kid?
Man, who didn't at that time?
Yeah.
I didn't know that many that didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was only a sprinkled few.
Yeah.
That you thought didn't mess up, but everybody around me, that's all we did.
What kind of stuff would you get into?
As a kid, man, And that little neighborhood, you know what was cool about where I grew up, man? That I grew up in a barrio, like I grew up in this little horseshoe street, right? Called they were called Las Casas Blancas, right there in the barrio, right?
Yeah.
Now they're apartments,
Yeah.
but there was those houses were so old, and the landlord took all the money, you know what I mean? And everybody, he wasn't paying the rent for everybody for about 6 months, and
Oh,
it just failed. Yeah, and everybody had to move out, right? But everybody there, I mean, you know, I do everything everybody else did: break windows, you know, play baseball on the street. You didn't care. You know, throw rocks at each other. Remember those little bean shooters? You cut off the gallon, the top, and then you put a rubber band.
Yeah.
And then just the balloon, just like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? People were always messing around with those, you know, because we couldn't afford the slingshot, so we gotta make our own, right?
Yeah.
So I was just, you know, just little things like that. At that time, I didn't know how to throw blows. My sister had to teach me that, you know. So you know, props to my sisters for teaching me how to. She's the one that taught me how to start getting tough out there.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit she knew.
Yeah.
Because like I said, she was my protector. So you know, little by little, we started. You know, the little fight scrimmages started, and then you be friends again. That whole little kid get down. But yeah, I just do like I remember always feeling kind of like empty.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. You know what I mean? You always felt empty. You wanted to do bad.
Yeah.
I know what it is now, right?
Yeah.
Back then I didn't know. I was just trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
and by myself too. I didn't have that
Father figure.
that not even that. My jefa didn't know how to talk to me about those type of things. It was just la chancla. You know what I'm saying? El cinto, or the extension cord. And not to be saying that my mom was that. Nah, my mom was loving too.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
She put food on our table, clothes on my back. You know, but that's the only way she knew how to. That's what they teach you in the rancho. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing more. That's it. You listen or you don't. So, I remember figuring all this out. So I would do little things like you know, that guy that would kick cats in the ass real quick.
Yeah.
You know, just to see him fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember.
I remember there was a beehive, and it was behind someone's house, and I would go over there and I go and kick up dust just so I could see the bees, and hopefully they make their way into a pad. You know.
Yeah.
But man, God works crazy, man. He sent one of them bees to attack me, bro. I remember that bee came out of nowhere. I went over there, I kicked the washing machine, and then that little bee just came out of nowhere. A bumblebee too, eh? Like he was slick too. He made a little circle like that, so I couldn't get him, man. The circle started getting bigger, and then it just started getting smaller, and got me.
No way.
You know what I mean? Got me. I remember crying, but it was just things of being a kid, man. I wouldn't trade my childhood for anything, man. It was a cool upbringing, being out there and just, you know, the cops, you know, getting called on us for throwing rocks over the neighbor's wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just cool little memories.
Yeah.
I mean, no bueno, but cool little memories.
When did you start going to juvenile hall?
I hit juvie about, I was a little late bloomer, I like to say. I hit juvie about 93, 94.
I think I seen you in 94 when I was
there. Like 94 around there.
Yeah.
I hit juvenile hall.
Z, I think it was.
Yeah. See, that's how I know I was a late bloomer, because I went to Z. I didn't go to Y and Z, right?
Yeah.
Or Y or whatever it was. So I started right there around that time, but I got caught up quick, man. I got caught up in that wave of when they were sending everybody to Y for nothing.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking back now at the crime that I committed at that time, right? And it wasn't called for Y, but it really wasn't, right? And everybody that went with me during that little period, and there was a gang of us. Orange County flooded it, right? And you know, we were cool. We thought we were cool, right? You don't know no better. You just think you got that little badge, like, hey, I'm like you made it, right? I made it. Part of the big dogs now. Yeah. But really, I think we just got caught up in something. However, the politics, you know, slide of manos, however that works. You know what I mean? and those gang of us that went, man, we went.
So you went to Hawaii your first time going to juvenile hall?
Nah, the first time I went to juvie, for like 30 days, 6 months. The second time, in the 6 months, that's when I get there. I went to Pinos, right? And I get there and I see one of my homeboys right there. So I tell him about something that I heard. I go, hey, there's a party going down over there in the water, right?
No way.
Yeah. I remember, Grumpy, rest in peace, man.
Yeah, Grumpy.
So I remember telling him, and he goes, yeah. Next thing you know, he's talking to some other cat. And this vato was having a little fling. I don't know. I just got there, right?
Yeah.
It's none of my business. I can care less. He's having a little fling with this hyena right there that works there.
The staff?
Staff, yeah. So we take off. We pump each other up. We take off. One of the other homeboys, he stayed back from a furlough. We take off with two other dudes, and we made it halfway down the mountain, right?
That's Ortega Highway, right?
That's on Ortega Highway.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we made it. Yeah, we made it halfway down the mountain.
Up there,
yeah, in the middle of the night too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All dressed the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we get there, and this vato makes a phone call. While this vato's making a phone call, my homeboy takes off, and he comes back with 2 pistols and some cigarettes, and we're right there doing our thing in a porta potty. It's like 4 of us in a porta potty. That's how skinny we were back then, right? And next, this hyena tells us to meet her down the way somewhere in a camp, certain camp. I don't know the name of it. She picks us up. We spend the night at her pad, right?
The staff?
Well, see, we're at her house.
Yeah.
So her kids are coming out. I remember tripping out like, man, what kind of house is this, right?
Yeah.
Where the kids were comfortable with us. Well, her vato was in the military. I don't know, something. I don't know where he's at, right? He's work, whatever he's doing. So one of the kids tells us, hey, the house next door is abandoned. We're like, what? He goes, yeah. So we jump the fence. We go in the house. Mamo has some tapes. He has some tapes from being in there. And there was a tape player on the wall. So we're bumping all night. We're hanging out. Just, good old, we thought we were cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So her husband comes home. That's how we had to split. And then in the morning, he takes off. We jump back over. She takes us home, man. She dropped us off at the bus stop. And then, that story is another story. Whatever happened over there is just hearsay. But yeah, that was it, man. So I'm running amok for about 5 days. I'm the first one that gets busted because I'm out there I'm running amok already from the gate. That's why I came out. So we didn't make it to that party, right? So I get caught up breaking into a car, and the vatos caught me, beat me up, and then they told a lie to the cop that I tried to stab him or something like that.
No way.
I don't even remember. That's how.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tried to stab him, and I'm over here bleeding. They're pistol whipping me, and I went to YA for that, for the escape.
Oh yeah.
For the G ride, attempted G ride, and the cops, man, they be back then they didn't play.
Yeah,
so they got me.
Up,
yeah, they got me some good ones.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. They gave me some good ones, man. And I remember looking up. And when they had me, boom, beat me up. I look up, and then the homies that I was with at that time, right, just passed by in the car. So I got caught up trying to get a car with this vato.
No
right?
way.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I never told nobody that.
Yeah.
I just remember looking up, and the vato's passing by. I was like, man, that's crazy.
What year was this? The early 90s, right?
That was early, that was early mid-90s almost. And yeah, that was my viaje to Hawaii.
How was it in YA? Was it? Because I've never been to YA, but I heard all the stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it was like fighting with your enemies all the time and gangbanging each other.
Yeah,
and
that was the
leva and stuff. You know what I mean?
that was the game. That was the game right there. That was the game. I stayed in reception right there for about a year, right? Because one of the hyenas that I ended up riding to at that time, I knew her from before, right? So her deal worked right there. So, I get hooked up with snacks, and the staff like me. They like my little get down. So I was always just a knucklehead. You're only supposed to be there for 90 days. maybe 5-6 months. I stayed there for about a year.
Oh, man.
So I was there for a minute. At least it seemed like a year to me. Who knows, right? And it was cool, man. That's all you try to do. Get in fights, come out. You come out 15 minutes a day, 3 times a day, or just to go gangbang. That's it. Um, clown around, play around, see what trouble you can get into. I remember I had 3 big old fierros right there, bone crushers, big ones. And though you ain't gonna get those right there, man. You're in reception. There's nothing. You don't know nothing. It's your first time ever really doing anything. At least for me.
Yeah.
I remember stashing them behind the toilet. I already had them how to pull them out. And they shut that place down. Man. They shut all of them down.
Always, yeah.
I see little videos sometimes. Somebody,
so
and it's a trip, man, to see. But yeah, I ended up going to TS. And the same little get down right. That was pretty cool. But that's where I got my first taste of we're not gangbanging no more. Right? When I got there. Now we're doing the whole raza
thing,
yeah. You know what I mean? We're doing that. Segregation started.
Where's TS at?
Chino. So, there were still dudes they will still get them up, here and there. You hear the stories, but it wasn't put out like that much,
Yeah.
It was just either you run up in somebody's cell over disrespect or whatever the case may be. But, it was a little war zone right there between other
races.
Yeah.
So
but not to cut you off. I paroled.
I was gonna ask.
I paroled right before that Hyena got killed in '96. I think they found her in the dumpsters right before they killed that Hyena. I remember I paroled Cinco de Mayo of 1996. And it happened right after, a couple of weeks right after, something like that. Yeah, it was big news. Yeah. But I was already out there running muck for a little bit. Got busted again 30 days later.
Oh, so you got out from YA and got busted 30 days later?
Not even 30 days.
Did you go back to YA or did you go to?
No, I maxed out. I had maxed out. So that was it. Right there. If you max out, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. So that's it. You're on. I think I was on parole, but I don't have to report to nobody or something like that. I don't know. But then my career started over there with the county and all those little ups and downs.
So did you ever struggle with substance use? I mean, I know you do, but just like, so when did the drug use start?
I started experimenting. I say right before I went to juvenile hall. Yeah, right before I went to juvenile hall, I was just partying, man, just a party kid. I was even doing raves and all that stuff, right? So I was smoking got about 13, 14, experimenting with everything, líneas, whatever they put in front of me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was just curious and really I just wanted to numb myself without knowing I wanted to numb myself.
Yeah.
Everything was new and I just wanted to be away. Yeah, I just wanted to feel different. I didn't know why. I didn't want to feel like myself, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, I always had that hole in my heart. Something was missing. So I was always trying to fill that void, substances with people, with females. You know what I mean? With the life. I remember my brother's from the barrio, and he came home one time from prison, right? And I remember just walking out of my house and everybody's hanging out, right? Everyone's hanging out in the front, the side, on my doorstep, and just looked like a big old party. I remember that's when I found love with that look. Like, and they got the girls, they got the cars, everyone's laughing, I wanted that.
Yeah.
Right? I wanted that. I wanted to have that car. I wanted to have that girl. I wanted to feel that joy.
Yeah.
And not knowing really what I wanted.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know. And I had fun as a kid. I was a happy kid, right?
Yeah.
Desmadroso, but I was a happy kid. And I remember I'll never forget that. Right? And I would come home. One time I came home and my brother had like this girl right there on the couch. And I remember just being all mad, I was being all mad. I closed the door. You know what I mean? Oh, and as I'm walking around, I remember feeling jealous. And man, I want to be older, right?
Yeah.
I want to be older. I want to be that guy. But since I couldn't be that guy, I just got mad. My son's like that now. He gets frustrated when he can't do something because he's small.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets mad. But yeah, man, I started experimenting, and then my carnal, like I said, I was just partying, man. He goes, "Hey, let me get a line." So I gave him a little line. He goes, "Here, try this," right? And I looked at it, and it was a piece of foil, right?
Yeah.
With some carga on it, right?
Yeah.
And I knew what it was, but I didn't know what it was because I just knew it in the syringe.
That was black tar heroin, right?
That was the tar, yeah. So I was like, nah, man, I'm good. I don't. He was just try it, just try. My carnal, I'm trying to bond with the vato, right? Yeah. So I'm like, all right, man. So I took a hit. I didn't like it. I felt the poison immediately. I remember I was throwing up. It was nasty. I didn't fall in love with it right away, right? And then it wasn't even a week later. I'm hanging out with the fellas, and again, it showed up in my face, right? I don't know why. You know, that's how dumb I want to say I was at that time, right? I don't know why. It made me feel nasty. I threw up. Yeah. I felt like that little green, just green, like I must have turned green, you know? Yeah. But yet I took it again. I did it again. And I started liking it. And then it went from the weekends to every other day. Next thing you know, you're hooked, and you don't even know it. Yeah. You know? The fangs got you. The chamoco got you. Bam. Yeah. Stuck his fangs in you. So, yeah. And that was my journey through, that began my journey.
So, how many times did you go to the county before you went to prison? Or what was your first time in the county like?
It was chafa. I mean, after you experience YA, to me, that was like kind of just, it's lame. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't with the big dogs. Yeah. I was with the dudes in a dorm. Yeah. You know what I mean? So to me, it was kind of like, make no sense to me, right? Yeah. I felt kind of like I went backwards in a way, right? But I just got busted for something dumb. I remember it was like, I don't even remember what it was. I think it was back then we had those big old phones. So who must have thought it was a cop in my pocket? I mean, a gun in my pocket. But I remember my homeboy had it, and it ended up in my pocket. And then so it was just little low level, nothing major. But really, that's my whole career, man. I here and there I got busted for something big, but most of the time it wasn't even my fault. Yeah. So I just fought it and did all that thing, but it was just something small. I remember I got like 30 days, and after that I got 90 days. Then I started going through the probation violations, you know what they give you over there. And that was my first trip to prison, was off of probation violation.
And a violation or what?
Like 3 violations, then you go to the joint. Violation, you know what I mean? You go to the joint, and I did my little term. But by that time, I remember still trying to settle down, right? I wanted a family. I wanted my own family. I remember that when I was young. Man, I want that. I didn't want kids yet, right? Because of where I was living, but I wanted a home. You know, I wanted a home. I still felt empty, and I did. I have a home. I had a beautiful family, but I just didn't appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't know how. I wasn't taught to. Yeah, you know, I didn't get that. I didn't know how to be a family guy, but I knew I wanted it. So then I kept going to prison after that. I kept going to prison. After one violation, then I get caught up for some dope, you know, just running amok.
Back then, they used to give you time for dope.
Yeah, right?
Like,
man.
I remember getting 32 months doubled up with prison priors for like a wet cotton or like a clogged outfit, a clogged needle, you know what I mean? Or like a bag of residue. Like they used to give us like years for that. Now it's like you can get busted with like a gram and you won't get time.
And now they cite you out nowadays. Exactly, they give you a little ticket, go ahead, go home.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how it changed, man. Man, and they would laugh at you. Those cops would laugh at you too. They catch you with anything. Yeah, a little baggie.
Yeah, we got you.
You know, we got you. Yeah, they get a kick out of it. That's how they changed, huh? But they were made to, I think, behind all the problems. It was
and the overcrowding in the prisons too. You know what I mean?
That was a big thing.
Like the CDCR means rehabilitation at the end of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But they were just trying to stack us in there to make $1 off of us.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Once the feds got involved, that's when they started like, okay, well, we got to start getting these people out. Yeah. So when did you finally decide that something needed to change?
That came years later.
Okay.
You know, because why do you know, throughout the whole every time you would get out, right? I would get out, I would come home, and I knew I wanted to be normal, I guess you would.
Yeah.
Well, people would call normal. Ain't no normal in this world, right? But what people would call normal, I wanted something, right? I wanted to work. I wanted to enjoy some things in life, right? That didn't involve drugs. I always came out with that mentality. I didn't come out and I'm gonna go and use. Yeah. I didn't have that mentality because I didn't get high when I was busted. Rare, 3-4 times a year, like rare. I didn't. That was not my story. You know what I mean? So I would come out with like, all right, I'm gonna get it this time. I'm gonna make it, right? But I didn't know how to control my emotions. I didn't know how to do any of that. So, but when it finally hit me, was I say the start was when you and Flip started, right? That was my first like really seeing somebody that I ran around with to they just stopped getting high, bro. In my mind, I was like, how? Because like I said, I would come home and I know I wanted it,
Yeah.
but I didn't know how to keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to really go about it. Like, how do you control your emotions? How do you? I mean, I was real good at that, but when they're finally coming out,
Yeah.
how do you control it without running to a substance?
Yeah.
To kind of just numb you out. I didn't know that part, right? I knew how to be cool. I knew how to be serio. I know how to be when to, you know, be a clown,
Yeah.
right? And when not to, but I didn't know how to control that feeling of when, and I needed to feel numb, right? Because even if it wasn't pain, it was, man, I'm having a good day. I deserve it.
Yeah.
I got that coming, you know? Hey, look what I accomplished. Always me.
Yeah.
Right? Look what I did today. You know what I mean? Sometimes there was no thought at all. I would just be chilling. I'm driving home one day from work, you know, good day.
Go to the neighborhood.
Yeah. I'm gonna go see what this guy's doing real quick. Lie to myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna do nothing.
Rusty?
Yeah.
Let's see what Rusty's doing really quick.
Yeah, I was gonna see how he's doing real fast. You know, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Make sure he's good, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I would do, lie to myself.
Yeah.
And the next you know, nah, I don't want any. And then third time around, you're like, all right, hey, let me get that.
Yeah.
Right? And that was an ongoing cycle. But when I saw you and Flip, and you guys made that change, right? I was like, man, it's possible. It's possible. Right? And I always believed in God, but I didn't know how to follow God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to listen.
Yeah. How to trust Him.
How to trust. Yeah, because I still got trust issues.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they come out. They always come out.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do any of those things. Right? I wanted it, but I didn't know how to keep it. So I saw you guys. It was my first eye opener. Like, man, okay, right? But I still kept stumbling.
Yeah.
And I would find a way to stumble. But that's the only pattern I knew how to do. Right? I'll reach out to God thinking I'm good with God, and next thing you know, boom. Right? So then, so I went through that one little program we used to work at, you know?
Yeah.
You got me in there, man. That was a blessing, you know?
Well, let's backtrack. I remember you went to stand detox, didn't you?
Man, I did that. I did that in 99, I want to say.
Yeah.
99. Oh, no, the stand detox.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about some other place. Yeah, I went to stand
because
detox.
remember you called me from there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because I kept trying on my own.
Yeah.
I kept trying, you know, I wanted to stop. I just didn't know how, right? So I would try it on my own, and it never lasted.
Yeah.
Right? It never lasted. So it would go good for a minute. I think one time I almost did a year at that, you know?
Yeah.
I could only get 1 year. I'm going to pull through. I just need one under my belt.
Yeah.
Right? All those things that you would tell yourself, all those lies, But it did. Like I said, it never worked. And then you opened that door to that place, right? So once you opened that door to that place, I didn't know what I was walking into. I thought it was just another I'm gonna try again type of deal.
Yeah.
Right. But then my case manager, he made a phone call for me.
Jason, right?
Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a phone call for me. And now that I know the whole story, it blows my mind, man.
Yeah.
How God had his hand this whole time.
Yeah.
Right? My whole life.
Yeah.
Right? My whole life. That hole I was feeling all my life was disconnection from God, right?
Yeah.
Not knowing because my mom introduced me, right? It's always there, right? I was born into this world, but I didn't know it because no one ever said nothing to me about it, what it was, right? So that whole when he made that phone call, looking back at it, them vatos didn't even like each other, right? But for whatever reason, this dude called this guy, and that guy I kept in touch with them. That's kind of weird for somebody like us to just reach out, right? And I didn't reach out and ask for help because I how do I do that to a stranger?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? Can you help me out?
Yeah.
Like, it's a stranger. Yeah. Someone told me, I would have been like, what? What are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
You know, get on your own 2 feet type of deal. So yeah, he introduced me to this dude, and we just started talking. Man, I was like, all right, cool. This guy's all right. But still, you got to build that trust. You got to build a relationship. Kind of weird, right? With another man. So we kept in touch, man. You know, I would go, and we started going to meetings and things like that, right? Still awkward for a minute. It was awkward for a minute, right? But he was cool. He was a cool cat. It was just awkward learning all this new stuff.
Yeah.
Like, do I want it?
Yeah.
Do I not? You know, I did and I didn't. Is this the route I want to go? I still want to do me.
Yeah.
Right? I still want to do me. My thinking.
Yeah.
Right? And then I started chipping again. So then I fell and I started using again. I went on a run this time. And it was for a cool minute because we were living together for a minute, right? That was that time.
Yeah.
That was that time, you know? Yeah. Yeah. That was that time. So, you know, you saw me through the stumbling.
Yeah.
But I went to the detox again. I stayed in touch with this dude, right? But before that, let me backtrack. What got me to the detox? What got me to the detox was I ended up at Cooper's, right? I ended up at Cooper's over here.
Oh, the sober living.
That sober living. Yeah. Right? And I was doing good for a minute right there. But then that time came when I started chipping again, started going through the same old. And this time it was different. Because I was feeling it for a minute, right? That whole depression and
anxiety.
And I didn't, you know, I wouldn't admit to that, you know what I'm saying that was a part of my story. Like I didn't want to
I'm not weak like that.
Yeah, I'm not lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I looked at it.
Yeah.
Or weakness.
Yeah.
Come on now. Right? And that's what it was. That's what it was. You know what I mean? Because I felt like a sadness, bro, where I just wanted to hide in my pad in my room, you know, get loaded, watch TV. I would watch series after series. I'm talking about, you know, 5 seasons of shows. Snowfall. You know what I mean? I had Vikings under my belt. I had a gang of them, man, because I love history.
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of those but I didn't want to see nobody no more, right? And then it came to where it finally it got so bad that I want to take myself out. That's another weakness of mine that I was like, what do you mean? You know, how you gonna go out like that?
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't want to live no more. I remember I didn't want to be on this earth no more. I was done. That's how selfish I was. I was just, you know, I didn't see the pain I was gonna cause on somebody else with me being gone. Right? I was just thinking about myself. That's all I cared about was me. Right? So yeah, I remember just almost gonna do it, you know, but I didn't want to blow my brains out, right? Because in that moment I did think about my mom. I was like, man, that's messed up, man.
Yeah.
You know, for her to see me like that. Like my idea was the the other option was any better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna OD, and that's it. I'm gonna end it all. Right? So I came to it. So I did it. And I remember I came to right there in my little room at Cooper's, and hold on, no. The Vato was he kept testing me. He kept testing me, trying
to. Rick?
Yeah, Rick. He kept testing me, right?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't figure it out. But a new beast came into the scene, the fentanyl, right?
Yeah.
So they weren't doing that at Cooper's.
Oh yeah, fentanyl.
Yeah, they weren't doing that. It was just got opiates, right? So they couldn't get me on that. So I was getting away with it for a little bit, and then finally I did it. So back to where I was at. So I'm laying on the ground. I wake up, sweating. The carpet, little tiny thin little carpet, right? Just with sweat. But however I was posing when I fell, that's how it was. That mark.
No way.
It was kind of like a chalk mark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A little chalk mark of a body.
Yeah.
So I was just laying there, and I woke up, and I'm just like, I remember wet and cold. It was cold already. I was like, man. So I remember my first thought was like, man, I couldn't even take myself out.
Yeah.
What? That's how much drogas I was doing.
Yeah.
Right? My body, for whatever reason, I've always been a marrano. Always.
Yeah, me
you know what I mean? I could just keep putting it in, Had a couple ODs, and I didn't even know they were ODs because I popped back up, or somebody would snap me out of it, right? So I came to, and I get up. I was like, man. So I tried to get up, and I couldn't get up. Like someone had told me, oh yeah, that stuff paralyzes you, but you come back to it. But I didn't look at it that way. I heard that later on. The way I looked at that moment was I was so stubborn, right? Era bien terco, since I was always able to stand on my own 2 feet. I just, in that moment, I remember thinking, I get emotional, right? Because I remember thinking, that was the hand of God. I mean, man, grateful. Because in that moment, bro, I felt like he finally saw me.
That was your spiritual awakening?
That's where it happened. That little room at Cooper's. I finally felt seen. Not by the world, but what I was craving for my whole life, right? Remember that hole?
Yeah.
I kept telling you, that hole, I always felt it. But in that moment, even though I was just laying there, I was like, man, now you see me. So yeah, I try to snap out of it, right? I'm trying to come to. I go from I'm trying to move to, hey, I can't move. All right, now you're messing with me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel you, like, hey, all right, but it wasn't enough. And I remember thinking that, like, it's not enough for you, God, All right, I see you. I'm grateful you're looking at me right now. But so now I'm like trying to get up, and it felt like an hour, bro. Like it felt forever because I'm doing with all my might. I'm just trying to stand up,
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get back up, right? So I'm on it took me forever, like I said, like an hour, let's just say, right? To get on my hands and knees, just so I could pick myself back up. And Charles, God kept me right there, just like, and I did, bro. I surrendered. I threw him up. I said, that's it. I'm done. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do. Right? So once I got on my feet, once I was able to get on my feet, I did. I grabbed my phone. And I called the camarada, my sponsor, right? He ended up becoming my sponsor, right? Yeah. That Jason plugged me in with.
Yeah.
I called him. I said, that's it. I said, bro, whatever you want, I'm done, man. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do. Right? He goes, you sure? I said, yeah. He goes, all right, pack your stuff. He goes, go back into that detox. You're going to go to Long Beach. And I was like, hey, whoa, wait, hold up, man. I'm from OC, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, to me, I'm going to Long Beach.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, look, man, you done or you're not? Right? My whole life was about to change.
Yeah.
I said, all right, man, I'm done. All right, cool. So we did, man. We pack our stuff and I go to detox. I come out. Well, the program didn't want to accept me, because how long fentanyl stays in your body.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know none of this. This is me finally surrendering, but I'm still holding on to some things. What do you mean? Can't go to your program. So I felt defeated,
Yeah.
You know, like, man, I go through all this. I'm finally taking someone else's advice, you know, to maneuver through life. And I'm still getting it wrong. Come on, man. Right? Because your mind's not there. You're just still thinking selfishly. So I was just like, I remember we're at St. Mary's or something like that. We're trying to get me into another detox until it's all out of my body. So I run into some dude who was trying to go into the detox too. And then the homie sitting in the car. So, you know me, we're in the car. And then I'm like, hey, hold on, I got to use the bathroom. I was already on mad, right? So I go inside. I start talking to him. Dude, I know you got some. I know you got some. Right? Because I'm feeling on my lias. You know, I got some. I don't know what I had in my system, man. But I was like, come on, man. You know, so he did. He broke me off some. He goes, all right, I'm going to leave some in the bathroom for you. So I go in there and I'm like, all right. I finally calm down, right? So this vato's making phone calls while I'm over there. Well, what he was doing, right, was he was talking to people, getting the whole rundown, and he was talking to his wife too, right? So she says, yeah, for me to go and stay at his pad till all this bellows out of my system, right? That's what this vato did for me.
Yeah.
Right? So when we went to his pad, he goes, all right, kick back. Man. That's the last thing I wanted, to be a burden to somebody.
Yeah.
I felt like a burden.
Yeah.
Right? But he did that for me, man. He opened up his doors. I finished detoxing in his pad.
How was that feeling, man? Was fentanyl worse than heroin? Detox?
You know what? I mean, to me, they were all bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you one or the other. I got mocos running down my nose. I got the shades. I'm hot and cold. Yeah, you got the shits. You're in the bathroom. Like, they were all bad to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This one just lasted longer, right? The other one would last about 3-4 days. And I'm good. I start coming back alive, right? Force myself to eat, all that. This one just went on for weeks, man. Like, just not feeling yourself at all. Like, at all. Just lasted a little longer. Couldn't sleep for like a month or more. Like, here and there to cat naps, but it was all bad to me. But I started moving my body, man. Finally, they let me in to Safe Refuge over there in Long Beach, right? And that's when I got my start right there. Finally started coming alive again, little by little. But I had what did it for me, right? Because there's so many knuckleheads. People just they don't care, right? They're just there for whatever the reasons.
Yeah.
Right? Need a bed, need food, whatever it is, right? I really wanted it. But what kept me was my circle of the people I met, right? And they were homies. That's what I gravitated towards.
Yeah.
Straight up, you know, no sugarcoating, no, you know, none of that soft touch. I don't have a soft touch, so
yeah,
they didn't have one, so it was perfect for me, right? We did everything together. I mean, everything. That's what kept me looking forward to a new approach, right? Because I saw the things what they were doing, and they were no different than me and you, man. You know what I mean? Same stilo, same get down, same everything. You know, they went through their homelessness and all them stories. And these vatos, one of them had his own business, truck driving, right? Um, Another one was a trucker too, had his own pad, family, right? And I kept looking at that as, man, I want that.
Yeah.
The same thing, right?
Yeah.
I want that. But the only difference now was that I had a relationship with God, right? That's what wakes me up every day. That's what gets me through the day, right? Um, constant conversations with my Father,
Yeah.
right? So puts me to sleep at night, right? Um, and that's what I did, man. That's what I did. I got into the church, right? Um, Now I'm not trying to get all, Bible thumper on you.
Yeah.
I can't even quote verses or nothing
Yeah.
like that, man. That's just my story.
Yeah.
That's the story I have,
Yeah.
right? To God goes all the glory,
Yeah.
every single day, through my peaks and my valleys, right? I put Him first in everything I do today. Fall short, of course,
Yeah.
right? Like any other man,
Yeah.
right? Because that's one thing I haven't been able to do is shake those mañas of what came into me,
Yeah.
right? Everything I was fed, everything the world gave me. You do this as a man. You stand on your own 2 feet.
Yeah.
You use these and right. All those things they still come out. No matter how much I try to bury them, I try to get rid of them. They come out. They come out, man. I see that in my relationship today, right? Little things that I do or that she does, they come out, man. Just boom, like that, right? I just have that only by His grace, man, that I have that. All right, man, I gotta talk to you now, right? You show me the way, you guide me, because just like that, I'll turn back to the old me. Hey, that vato's waiting right there.
Yeah.
And he can't wait to get you back. You know what I mean? He's waiting for that moment, and I slip up sometimes, right? But the way I trust Him today, and I just try to, put one foot in front of the other and try to be better, right? Every day, try to be better. Just try to be better.
So what are you doing today? How's your life became since you decided to get clean and live a different life?
Since I surrendered, trip out, man. Since I surrendered, I'm not nothing special like that, right? I'm not. I don't got nothing going on that's special to the way other people would view it. But to me, I got everything I need, bro. Everything. Right? I got since I left that place, man, since I surrendered, I got my trucker's license.
That's right.
Right? All those little goals I set up,
Yeah.
they're coming. They're being accomplished. Right? I got married, bro.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Found my wife. I'm a granddad today.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I'm a stepdad today. I got my little guy everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Except right here today, right? He was asking questions too. Where you going, Dad? I said, I'm gonna do a podcast. Can kids come? I said, no, kids can't come. He goes, for real? I said, yeah, for real, man. Can't come.
Kids are curious.
Yeah, he's curious, but he felt some type of way, like, yeah, go somewhere without me, because that's how often this little dude's by my side, man. Right? He's a trip, but you gotta meet him.
So how much clean time do you have now?
Yeah, coming December 18th, going on 3 years.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. And I just want to take a time to say, like, I know we don't like to hear this, man, but I'm really proud of you, man, because where me, you, and Flip were all at one time, out there shooting dope, getting busted, running the neighborhood, like totally different people than we are. You know what I mean? And I was the one who got it first, then flipped, then you, and nothing makes me happier to see my homeboys like get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And doing more with your lives. You know what I mean? Because like once I seen the possibility of actually like living a better life, you know what I mean? Like I try to go to the neighborhood and talk to Rusty. You know what I mean? But he's not ready yet.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to come to terms with like I can't want it more than them, but when they're ready, like I'll give them the resources.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it sucks because he's my brother. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with him, and he's always been there. Like I used to look up to him. You know what I mean? But there's got to be a time where you got to set that boundary and let them do them. You know what I mean? Like and like they say at the meetings, moment of silence for the addicts out there still suffering. He's the first one I think of, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, man. But I really commend you on everything you're doing today, brother. And,
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's all by God's grace.
Yeah.
It's all by His love.
Is there any suggestions or something you want to say to the viewers that might be out there struggling with addiction or getting incarcerated?
Man, you know what? You're gonna hear all these cheesy quotes and saying, but there's hope. I mean, there's hope, man. We were running around. I got no veins. I got no veins in my body.
Doing push-ups in the bathroom.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Having to muscle that shit.
I just had to school my wife on Belushis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they named it after this dude right here.
Jim Belushi.
Yeah, we're watching something and I go, yeah, man, you know what I mean? That's where that came from. I got no veins, man. Nowhere. Like nowhere. When I go to the doctors, I gotta tell them, hey man, look, I'm not gonna be your pincushion. You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I got none. If I would have had one, I would have found it.
Yeah.
Right? They always look at me, but I get a kick out of saying that to them.
Yeah.
Right? But that's because it no longer has a hold on me. Yeah. I'm not embarrassed by my story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm fortunate to have a job and friends where I can talk about this stuff, be me. Yeah. You know, I'm put it out there on blast, right? But I never shy away from telling everybody my story, the hope, right? The what you can do in life, right? If you just surrender, right? And I don't live for I have goals, right? But I don't trip on what's happening over there mañana. You know, I can care less, right? I just know when I walk out of here, I'm gonna thank God. I just know when I get in my car, I'm gonna ask Him to guide me, and that's my daily thing, man. And that's what pulls me through, and it puts joy in my heart to be free from what the world thinks or what anybody has to say about me. You know, does it come up sometimes? Oh yeah, of course. But it doesn't affect me for where I'm gonna come out of character, and I can care less how anybody views me. You know, so there's hope out there, man. Just reach out. You know, we're always here. We have a great circle of people that can help you out. You know, if you need help, there's resources everywhere. Just gotta surrender, man. Give yourself a chance. That's another one that people with little quotes, right? Give yourself a chance, and that's as real as it can be, man. Give yourself a chance at life. You know, without addiction, without the toxicity of your past. You know what I mean? You just start breaking those chains little by little. One breaks, another one breaks, and you just become a person that you never thought. At least, I never thought I was gonna be. Right? I never thought I'd be this guy and talking about God. That was the last thing on my mind. But man, that's my greatest joy today.
And I created this platform for hope for the hopeless, right? Because at one time I was hopeless, and I know he was hopeless, you know. Mm-hmm. And just know that if we could change, that anyone can change, right? Because I was gooder. I think I was more gooder than Jimmy here.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like I was grimy. You know, I remember going to Jimmy's apartment, and he had a new car, and we'd be in his bathroom slamming. You know what I mean? But I say that to say this, right? That no matter your circumstance, whether it's street life, addiction, or getting incarcerated, like change is possible, you know, and never give up hope. And if you guys need any resources, reach out. You can DM me on TikTok or Instagram. It's the same handle, Fools Get Clean too, or leave me a comment. And just never give up. And remember, fools get clean too.
That's right.
All right.
All right,
Gracias.
now.
All right.